Welcome to this 100 subscriber special. We made it bloody quick too, and I want to say a very special thank you to each and every one of you. It means so much to me that you want to spend your time watching my content, and what better way to celebrate it than with a Fortnite roast. For me personally, Fortnite isn't a game that I enjoy. I can, however, understand the appeal of it, so if you play and enjoy Fortnite, keep going, buddy. This isn't really going to be a roast of the game. This is more a roast of the media stories surrounding it. So in June of this year, it was reported that a 9-year-old girl wet herself when playing Fortnite. Now, when I read this story, I felt really sorry for the girl because she's only 9 and she must have been brought up in an environment where she was able to play Fortnite or play games for any matter without either the right permission or the right supervision from an adult. When stories like this come up, I don't really think it's something which the game can be blamed for, because there's a lot of things out there that cause people to behave in this way. And it's important to note the game is rated PEGI 12. That means if you're not 12, you shouldn't be playing the game. This girl was 9. She never should have been playing the game to start with. So the fact that she was, I'm sorry, but it's not the game's responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility. And it seems like most days there's another news story about something similar. Like literally yesterday, I came across a news post about a 4-year-old boy who wanted to try and glide like they do in Fortnite, so he jumped off his garden slide and broke his arm. He was 4. How does he even know what Fortnite is? Once again, this brings me back to the actual age rating of the game. It's PEGI 12. What are the parents doing? He's 30% old enough to play the game. That's like up to your knee. His knee could play Fortnite, but nothing else. And if you try playing a game with your knee, it's bloody hard. But those two stories weren't even like the biggest surprise when I was doing some research. I came across a news story which stated this year, 5% of UK divorces have been because of Fortnite. People are getting divorced because of this game. And I genuinely feel like this isn't the game's fault. I think maybe it's just a generational thing. Maybe the generation above us just don't know how to hold their rage from a game, or maybe they're just getting super salty if they can't duo with the right people, or maybe they're duoing with the wrong people and that's making people upset. You know, I'm sure there's going to be news stories from back in the day with Pac-Man and stuff where people were having arguments, causing fights, and then maybe breaking up because of that reason too. So I don't think this is in any case a new thing, but because of the way media is set up these days, it just makes it much more easier to see. Either way, there's just lots of shit going on all over the place in regards to like addiction and games of Fortnite, and I think that is something which people need to be really careful of and take ownership, and especially the parents, man. That's why there's age ratings in games. Parents have such a responsibility these days for monitoring what media their kids are getting involved with. I mean, in the previous video I made, I talked about gaming and accessibility, and the fact that games are much more accessible these days is fantastic, because it means more people can get interested in the things that we're interested in. But at the same time, it brings about a new era of responsibility too. You know, like if you've got kids or dependents, then you need to watch out for them and you need to make sure that they're engaging in media which is appropriate for them. I'm sure this happens to many of you as well, but when I'm out around town shopping, I see so many parents just giving a screaming child their phone to play with and dick about with, and it makes me so sad. Like the fact that these kids, they're crying and screaming out for attention, and all they get given is an electronic device. No wonder they get addicted to stuff like this. It's the only form of gratification that they have in their lives. Now, I don't have a kid, and I admit that I'm probably not the best person to talk about this subject, so if you do have a child and I've offended you in any way, I do apologize. But I feel like the world, and especially the way that we consume media, is changing. It's changing everything around us. It's changing the way that we parent our kids. It's changing the way that we interact with our work, with our jobs, with our family, with our loved ones. It's changing everything, and we need to be aware of those changes and change the way that we interact with it to make sure that we can carry on interacting with it in a healthy way. These stories aside, it's not uncommon to hear about kids spending thousands of money on apps and games and stuff on their parents' phones, and the parents have no idea what they're doing. If your kid is spending thousands of money on something, you need to stop them from doing that. But what's the answer? Like, what needs to happen to stop these things from happening again? I guess the first thing would be education. There needs to be ways for people to learn and understand the dangers of what this new accessibility means. As much as it is awesome, it also means that we need to have these extra responsibilities and knowledge in order to be able to navigate it successfully. I really don't want us to go down the route of just seeing more and more of these news stories and nothing really changing to fix them. I think that what the Netherlands and Belgium are doing in regards to loot boxes is a good step in the right direction. I think games companies do need to be aware of this type of thing and also offer support to players who may be finding it difficult to cope with having these kind of mechanics in game. But at the same time, maybe we just need to work harder to find a middle ground. In terms of Fortnite though, it has got an age rating of PEGI 12, and all the stories I've seen about it, minus the divorce ones, have all been about kids who are less than 12. So I think step one is making sure that kids who aren't old enough aren't playing the game. Like, it's a no-brainer, really. My missus's sister, her kids can earn tokens by doing household tasks, and each token is 30 minutes of whatever they want to do. So if they do the dishes, they may get a token and then they can spend half an hour playing on a video game. Now, I really like this system, and from what I've heard, it works pretty well. But I'm curious if there's any other kind of systems out there which could be used. So if you know of any, please pop them in the comments and I'll take a little look. And who knows, maybe I'll do a follow-up video where I detail a load of these different systems, and then if any parents with kids watch my videos, then they could maybe try them out for themselves. That'd be cool. And that's it for this video, so thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you spending your time here with me today. Make sure you check out some of my other videos, and also why don't you share them? Because then we can get to another subscriber milestone and I'll make another fun video about something. Until that time, woo, see you later. And subscribe. There's over 100 of you now, which is amazing. And it's great because now I know that when I make my videos, loads of you are seeing them and watching them and enjoying them. And yeah, it's great. Thank you very much. You're amazing. I'll see you in the next video. And remember to turn on those notifications too. Bye.